We were at a family gathering, the kind where laughter and chatter filled the air and everyone was trying to outdo each other with stories. I had been feeling uneasy all evening, picking up subtle glances and smirks exchanged between my wife and another man, my friend from work who had recently joined the family's circle. Dinner was served, and conversation flowed around the table. Everyone was laughing, sharing memories, until my wife leaned slightly toward him, her tone casual but loaded. "You know, I'd trade my husband for him any day." The words hit me like a punch. The clinking of cutlery, the chatter, the laughter, everything faded. I felt a rush of shock and anger, yet a strange calm settled over me. I realized that losing my composure in that moment would only give her the power she was trying to wield. I looked around the table at the others, some smiling, unaware of the tension, some raising eyebrows at the audacity of her statement. Everyone waited for me to respond, expecting anger, a scene, a public confrontation. Instead, I leaned back slightly, letting the words settle, and replied in a calm, even tone. "Funny. I was just thinking the same about you." The silence was immediate. Forks hovered mid-air, glasses paused mid-lift, and even the background music seemed to vanish. Every eye turned toward us, trying to comprehend what I had just said. Her face went pale, the color draining as she realized that her attempt to boast or provoke had backfired completely. I stayed silent for a few seconds, letting the weight of my words sink in. The friend she had been flirting with shifted uncomfortably, suddenly aware of the tension that had erupted in a single phrase. He opened his mouth to say something, then shut it again, unsure of what he could possibly add. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I simply smiled faintly, letting the calmness speak louder than any shouting could have. My response had shifted the power dynamic instantly. She tried to laugh nervously, attempting to recover. "Oh, I was just joking, you know." But the sparkle in her eyes, the confidence she had carried just moments ago, had vanished. I raised my glass slowly, maintaining eye contact with her, and said softly, "Yes, jokes are funnier when they're true, in reverse." Another wave of silence swept over the table. I could feel the stares, the unspoken judgment, and the realization dawning on everyone present that she had crossed a line and had been caught. Over the next few minutes, the conversation shifted awkwardly. Guests started talking about other things, but the underlying tension remained. No one dared bring it back up. My wife remained quiet, twisting her napkin in her hands, her earlier arrogance replaced by discomfort and shame. She realized that the room was no longer hers to dominate. Later, when we were alone, she tried to explain, apologize, and justify her words, but I had already made it clear. Public displays of disrespect and betrayal would not go unaddressed. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I simply reminded her calmly that trust and respect are earned, not toyed with for amusement or jealousy. The rest of the evening passed quietly. I maintained my composure, walking the line between dignity and confrontation, ensuring that she understood the gravity of her actions without me having to raise my voice. In the weeks that followed, our relationship changed subtly but permanently. She knew I had the calm control to respond to betrayal with intelligence rather than anger, and that knowledge altered how she behaved. I realized that sometimes the strongest response isn't loud, it's measured, deliberate, and delivered with an unshakable calm that leaves no room for doubt or retaliation. The memory of that night still lingers. The room, the silence, the shift in energy. It taught me that composure can be the most powerful form of revenge, especially when the whole world is watching. And in that moment, when the room went silent, I understood that my calm two words, and the way I delivered them, had said more than any outburst ever could.